A few moments later.
Hi and welcome to the channel. So I just finished up a little work of some stainless steel frame, or work in stainless steel. It's a frame for a desk or a table, some sort of a prototype for a design I know. It required I had to flip the table on the inters and drill and tap horizontally. So yeah, it's quite easy to do, but if you are familiar with a decal, just rotate the head, and if you have a FP2 or FP3, you have a quill that will go in and out like on a drill press or so. So that's a very convenient feature for doing work like this, and I really missed the quill. So instead I had to mount the tapping arm on the bridge port and then tap the long pieces on the vise, and it turned out okay, but it would be better to make it all in one step on the machine. But yeah, it's okay. Then I drilled some holes, counterbored them, and on the bridgeport. So it was really not a job that required two machines, but yeah, if I had done something wrong, it was easier for me to let this be in the horizontal mode, then I could just make another part. So that's why I choose to do so. And also I have the air-powered drawbar on the bridgeport, which made the exchange of the four tools needed in this operation extremely fast. So I can highly recommend buying that from for your bridgeport drill press. It's fantastic. But when I used the inters, I need to say before that it's winter time, and at the moment we are above the freezing point, but when I did those parts, it was below the freezing point, so there was quite cold in this part of the shop because it's not heated like in the other part. And because of that, the oil is quite thick in the inters. It has a hydraulic pump on the side and one inside. The one inside will pump the oil in the top boom, or the y-axis where all the gears are for the spindles, and then it will drain and go down to the reservoir or the tank in the bottom, and then it will circulate. And that's for lubricating all the spindle gears and bearings. But all the slides, it has boxways on the knee, but dovetail ways on the y-axis. And then now I'm ending where I started. When I moved the mill, it was mainly on the y-axis, and I noticed the slides were quite dry, and I don't recall them being that. So there is some issue with the lubrication. I know the pump is pumping oil. It goes up to 1.5 bar and feed through this hose that go into the knee, and inside here there is some sort of distributor, and I assume there will be something under here on the set ways inside the cover that will go up and lubricate this part of the mill. Now I'm about to clean a little bit, and then I will move the bandsaw, and then I can access the mill from the side and remove a cover and take a deeper look. So that's the point of this, I'm telling you. I will, as the next project, take a look at the lubrication on the inters, and you will see some footage from that. Other than that, I will add some footage from when I made the stainless steel frame and the progress. It's a very simple job. It doesn't require anything special. but I prefer to make it as accurate as possible. And you will see only a little bit of misalignment, so I need to drill and tap and so on the milling machines. And setting up the machine actually takes longer time than the job itself, but yeah, that's how it often is in this trade, so yeah, it's like that. Nevertheless, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the next. Bye bye.